All right, welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Always exciting to be back.
And today, we're going to be cracking open Alphabet's fourth quarter 2024 earnings report.
Uh-huh.
Now, our listeners, they're not new to the tech world.
Right.
So we're going to go, a little bit beyond just the, typical headlines and really kind of try to understand
why. Yeah.
What's the strategy? Where are they placing their bets? What does it all mean for the future of everything?
I love it. These reports are like treasure maps,
Oh.
right? They're full of these little cryptic clues and hidden pathways.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go on an expedition to unearth those gems.
I love that analogy.
Okay.
All right, so let's start big picture, right?
Okay.
Alphabet brought in $96.5 billion in revenue.
Wow.
That's a 12% jump from last year, which for a company of that size
Yeah, that's pretty
is pretty impressive.
That's amazing.
We all know that their core businesses, like search and YouTube ads, those are still they're the workhorses.
Right.
But something tells me there's more to this story.
Absolutely. It's all in the details.
Okay, so give us the details. What are we seeing here?
Well, for example, Google Cloud revenue. It surged 30% to hit $12 billion.
Okay.
That's not just, normal cloud growth. That's something else going on there.
Okay, so spill the beans. What is driving this cloud explosion?
It's AI. It's the businesses adopting Google's AI infrastructure and their new generative AI solutions.
Mm-hmm.
These solutions allow companies to really harness AI
Nice.
for all sorts of things, like automating processes or even creating completely new products and services.
So it's not just about storing data in the cloud anymore.
It's not just storage.
It's about actually accessing and using AI.
Exactly. And Alphabet, with all the years they've invested in AI research and development,
Yeah.
they're positioned perfectly to be like the arms dealer in this revolution,
So you're saying they're the ones providing all the
providing the picks and shovels
picks and shovels, yeah.
for this gold rush.
Yeah, okay. I'm starting to see why you call this report a treasure map.
Yeah.
I mean, we're uncovering the major shift in how businesses operate.
Right.
It makes me think, are we prepared for this AI-powered world? How do you see this impacting, your own work, your industry?
That is the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
I think we're all figuring that out right now in real time.
Yeah.
But one thing is for sure, the companies that adapt quickly
Mm-hmm.
and embrace AI strategically, those are going to be the ones that thrive.
Okay. Something to think about. But let's not forget about Alphabet's bread and butter,
Yeah.
good old Google search.
Uh-huh.
The 10% growth in Google services revenue might seem a little bit, I don't know, tame maybe compared to, the cloud fireworks we were just talking about.
Right.
But I have a feeling there's more to that story as well.
Oh, for sure. Remember, we're looking for those hidden gems.
Yeah.
And even a modest 10% growth for a product as massive as Google Search means there's some serious innovation happening behind the scenes.
Yeah. And the CEO, he actually highlighted a couple examples. AI overviews and circle to search.
Ooh, those sound interesting.
Yeah, can you kind of elaborate on those? I'm curious.
Yeah. So AI overviews, basically, when you search for something,
Mhm.
it'll give you a quick AI-powered summary at the top,
Oh, okay.
saving you a bunch of time and effort. And then circle to search
Okay.
lets you literally draw a circle around anything on an image and instantly search for information about it.
Wow. Okay.
So, it's all about making search more visual, more intuitive, more engaging.
So search is getting an AI makeover.
Exactly.
It seems like they're really committed to staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Even in their most, I guess, established products.
Absolutely. They are not resting on their laurels.
Right.
They are constantly experimenting, pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
That's how they stay on top.
Okay. Now let's talk about YouTube. The report highlights their continued leadership in streaming watch time and podcasts. And that little mention of podcasts there, that caught my attention.
I noticed that too.
Yeah. What do you make of that?
Well, it's a subtle thing, but it's definitely an acknowledgement of the growing podcasting landscape.
Mm-hmm.
And if we think about that in the context of Alphabet's overall strategy,
Yeah.
it really makes you wonder, what are they planning? Do they see podcasts as like a key part of their future?
Yeah. And what does that mean for the podcasting industry as a whole?
Right. Like, will they try to dominate podcasting?
Mm-hmm.
How will that impact, independent creators and platforms?
Yeah.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
It's like this little ripple effect, this one little sentence, and it could change the whole audio landscape.
Absolutely.
Okay. Speaking of big moves, CEO Sundar Pichai announced a whopping $75 billion
Wow.
capital expenditure plan for 2025.
That's a lot of money.
That is not chump change. What's the plan with all that cash?
Well, if we kind of, break it down and look at what they've been doing, it seems like it's going towards three key areas. First, they're doubling down on their AI ambitions, obviously.
Okay.
That means building out the infrastructure to support these even more powerful AI tools.
So like data centers and...
Massive data centers, custom designed ships, all that stuff.
Okay.
Second, they're looking to expand their cloud footprint globally, going head to head with Amazon and Microsoft for that cloud market share.
It's like a digital land grab.
It is a land grab.
But instead of land, it's computing power.
Exactly.
Okay. And the third area?
Yes. This is the exciting one. Strategic acquisitions. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Alphabet snapping up some promising startups in AI or, related fields.
So it's not just about AI itself. It's about controlling the whole ecosystem.
Exactly. And these investments, it's like a signal to the market and to you. They see AI in the cloud as the future of tech.
Okay.
Are you paying attention because this train is leaving the station?
Oh, yeah. I'm glued to the tracks, believe me.
Good.
All right. Let's, kind of shift gears a little bit and dig into some of these interesting details that were buried within this report. One that really jumped out at me was the move of the Gemini app team to Google DeepMind.
Oh, interesting.
Now, Gemini, I know, is their next-gen AI.
Yeah.
But for those who haven't been following the AI saga as closely as we have,
Right.
Can you just give like a really quick rundown of what that is?
So basically, Gemini is Alphabet's answer to ChatGPT.
Okay.
And Bing AI.
Got it.
It's their attempt to create, the most advanced and user-friendly AI assistant out there.
Okay.
And moving the team that's developing the user interface over to DeepMind, their AI research powerhouse. That's a big move.
Yeah, so they're putting together this AI dream team.
Exactly.
To make sure that this is like the best it can be.
Right.
Now, another fascinating detail in the report was the significant amount of money that Alphabet spent on stock buybacks and dividends for shareholders. Okay, so explain this to me like I'm 5.
Okay.
What does that mean and why should I care?
Okay. Imagine you have a lemonade stand and you're making a profit.
I love lemonade.
You have two options with that profit. One, you can reinvest it back in the lemonade stand. Maybe you buy a fancy new juicer or some new flavors.
Yeah.
The other option is you give some of that profit back to your investors.
Okay.
The people who helped you start the lemonade stand in the first place.
Okay.
That's basically what stock buybacks and dividends are.
Right.
Alphabet is rewarding their investors while also still investing heavily in the future.
So it's like trying to manage today and tomorrow at the same time.
Exactly. A delicate balance.
Speaking of ambitions, the report also hinted at some of Alphabet's aspirations that go beyond their current businesses.
Yeah.
This is where things get really interesting and speculative.
Absolutely. We have to put on our future hats here
Yes.
and try to read between the lines. But based on what we're seeing, a few things emerge. They've been quietly dipping their toes into healthcare with initiatives like Google Health and Verily Life Sciences.
Right. And then there's Waymo.
Yeah, the self-driving car company.
And all sorts of projects in their X Lab, the moonshot factory, as they call it.
Right. It's like they're constantly looking over the horizon for the next wave of innovation.
It's like they're surfers, just waiting for the perfect wave.
Always looking for that next big wave.
But what does that mean for us?
Right.
The average user, the person whose life is increasingly intertwined with technology.
Yeah.
What might Alphabet's aggressive push into AI mean for our lives, in the next 5 years, 10 years?
That is the billion-dollar question. I think the impact of AI is going to be felt everywhere, from the way we work to the way we connect with each other, how we consume information, how we think even.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
But also a little bit scary.
A little bit, yeah. It's like we're standing on the edge of this vast, uncharted territory. We know it's full of potential, but we don't quite know what lies ahead.
Yeah, and Alphabet's one of the companies that's shaping that territory.
Absolutely.
So to kind of sum up this part of our deep dive, I think we can safely say that Alphabet is not content with just being, a tech giant.
Right.
They're actively building the future with AI at its core.
And they're doing it while still, keeping an eye on the present, balancing these ambitious investments with the need to keep their investors happy.
Yeah, it's a delicate dance,
It is.
but they seem to be walking that tightrope pretty well.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, it's a high wire act for sure. But, it makes me wonder, what does this all mean for, like, the average person?
Yeah.
How might these technological leaps, especially in AI, impact our lives, in the coming years?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? The ripple effects of Alphabet's moves, particularly their AI push, are going to be felt everywhere. Imagine a world where AI is just seamlessly integrated into our daily routines, from how we work and learn to how we shop and even manage our health.
Yeah, it's a world full of potential,
Absolutely.
but, also potential pitfalls.
Right.
We've all seen those sci-fi movies
Oh, yeah.
where AI takes over.
Hopefully reality will be a bit more nuanced than that.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
But seriously, it's important for us to have these conversations
Yeah.
about the ethical implications of AI.
Right.
We need to make sure that it's developed and deployed in a way that benefits humanity as a whole,
Right.
not just a select few.
Yeah, it's a responsibility that we all share.
I agree.
From the companies creating these technologies to, the everyday users
Yep.
interacting with them.
Exactly.
We need to be informed, we need to be engaged, and we need to be critical thinkers.
Absolutely. That's what we're trying to do here,
Excellent.
to give our listeners the knowledge, the insights they need to navigate this crazy world.
Yeah. So to wrap up our deep dive into Alphabet's Q4 2024 earnings, I think we can safely say they're not just a tech company.
They're more than that.
They're like a future building machine.
And that future is being built on AI, cloud computing, and a constant pursuit of what's next.
It's a future full of potential, both amazing and potentially challenging.
Absolutely.
It's a future that, we're all a part of, whether we realize it or not.
Right.
And that's why it's so important to stay informed, stay curious, and maybe even get a little bit excited about what's coming next.
Yeah, embrace it.
So if you want to, kind of dig deeper into Alphabet's world,
Yeah.
we've got you covered. Check out the show notes for links to the full earnings report and other resources.
Don't be intimidated by the financial jargon. It's really not that complicated.
Yeah.
It's all about connecting the dots and understanding the big picture.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to invent the next groundbreaking AI application.
Yeah, or uncover the next hidden gem in an earnings report.
Exactly. Well, hey, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring.
And keep learning.